Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing again. How are you doing? Are you enjoying the weekend and the continuing heat? I've been moaning about the cold in a couple of months, but I've had enough of the heat, to be honest with you. I stripped off naked actually and opened all the windows last week. Taxi driver weren't too happy about it, but fuck him. I'm here all week. I said last video that I wasn't going to do any more Anthony Joshua videos, and I was wrong. I didn't lie, I was just wrong. Yeah, I want to talk a bit about who's going to train AJ, because, to be honest with you, does he want to continue with Garcia? Oh, all right, fair enough. They've only been together for 5 minutes, so give it another go. Fair enough. But a lot of people have asked me, and the discussion's been held on other channels as well, like who is the best trainer for Anthony Joshua? Now, for me, and I'm not saying this could happen or would happen, but I think Peter Fury is the man. Okay, I'll tell you why. I think AJ, after 10 years of chaos, of being in the public light, of having a managerial company, a 258, of doing all sorts of other media commitments, becoming a household name, becoming someone all the mums and dads love, and, you know, doing that whole PC public image thing, picking up a huge crew, a huge entourage. I think someone needs to come along and strip all that down. Strip it down. Get rid of all the bum fluff, all the, you know, shave all that off. Get rid of all the excess fat and all that. A subject I know a great deal about. Yeah, just get rid of it all. Get rid of all that crap and just, you know, take it back to basics. And I think Peter Fury, apart from the fact that whenever he's interviewed, I'm all ears, because he knows boxing, and I like his manner, I like his attitude. I like his attitude towards, you know, life, or a lot of it. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says. You ain't going to get two human beings who agree on everything, but I just like the way he is a no-nonsense guy, and I think that's what Anthony Joshua needs. Okay? Someone who's just going to concentrate on the boxing, make sure he lives the life, not going to take any bullshit off him. You know, he's going to tell him exactly what he thinks, exactly what he needs to do. AJ is the type of man who needs that. He needs the guidance. He needs the reassurance. He needs the arm around the shoulder sometimes. He needs a kick up the arse sometimes. He needs to be told this is wrong and this is why it's wrong. No real diplomacy there. Not bullying, not coming from a negative place, coming from a forceful, assertive, productive place where you're actually going to help someone to realise their full potential, because I don't think Joshua has quite got there. I don't think he has realised his full potential. He's achieved a tremendous amount. By being fast-tracked, having relatively limited amateur career. Well, of course, he won Olympic gold. I still think he lost one of those fights, the Savannah fight. Did he lose the final to Camarella? Close fight, maybe, I don't know. But did well in the World Championship, you know, and then he's fast-tracked as a pro. It's been relentless, absolutely relentless. And along the way, if you're a speeding bullet train, at some point, you know, you need to slow down, if only to give the engine a rest. So I think that Peter Fury is the man. And I think if you look at, let's look at Peter Fury's work. We all know about his work with Tyson Fury, which was exemplary. And Fury went to Germany, won the title in Germany. Don't forget, Peter Fury was leading the charge, though. You remember certain incidents in Germany where they were trying to pull several fast ones, like the spongy canvas. You've probably seen the footage of Peter Fury saying, if that canvas isn't altered, we're going home. You know, he wouldn't be bullied, he wouldn't be intimidated by any promoter, any team from the opposing corner giving him any bullshit, trying to pull any fast one. He's too wise for that, and he's an older man. And sometimes, you know, I mean, wisdom does come with age. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slagging off younger people. I meet a lot of, you know, very wise, very skillful younger people. I work with a lot of them. That I couldn't have done what they do now. Like a lot of my very young colleagues who are like 30 years younger than me. I mean, they were a lot more mature than I was at that age. A lot more mature. But sometimes you do need an older head who's been around the houses. And Peter Fury, you know, he's got shady past. He's come through it. He's trying to do the right thing now. But never mind what he did with his nephew. Look at what he's done with Savannah Marshall, because this is a young woman who has always had the raw materials. You know, she's a big, strong Amazonian type, very good skills, good power, but she didn't really achieve all she could have done in the amateurs, and at the start of her pro career, she needed someone to sort of take her in and concentrate and just focus her on the bare basics. It's kind of like any education. Some people, they'll go for a higher education. I mean, I meet a lot of people, a lot of younger people who've come through the university system, and sometimes I'm amazed that they can't do basic spelling or basic arithmetic, or they haven't got a very good general knowledge. They know about one thing, which is what they studied, we hope. But when it comes to being worldly, having a good, a varied, broader knowledge of the world, they're not so great. And I think if you strip in education, if you strip it down to reading, writing, and arithmetic, which is what it used to be, then once you've mastered that, you can branch out and get a. But you've got to master the basics first. And I think Peter Fury is the type of trainer that does that with his fighters. He did it with Savannah Marshall. He's taken her from. Don't forget, people were saying about Savannah Marshall when she was an amateur that she bottles it, that she lacks confidence, that she gets nervous under the lights. And Peter Fury has helped her conquer that, and he's brought her to the point where she can handle that sort of stuff, fighting in front of her own, northeast, fans. Where is she from? Is it Hartlepool? Newcastle, Hartlepool, Sunderland, all that area. They all support her, quite rightly so. She's a very, very good fighter, but she's matured as a woman and as a fighter exponentially, but with the help of Fury. I think Peter Fury is the man to take Joshua and do something similar. And Joshua's no spring chicken. I think he's 33 soon. But for heavyweights, it's not that old. He's got another 3-4 years, maybe 5 years. Take him up to 38. That's not that old these days. And I think Peter Fury would definitely bring out hidden things in Joshua that maybe even he doesn't realise he's got, mentally as well as physically. He'd teach him how to control his emotions. He'd teach him how to, how uncomplicated boxing can be. Because I think sometimes we do sort of overcook the meal, over-egg the pudding. It's not to say that, you can't have plan A, plan B, plan C, but you've also got to be realistic. There are certain things that some boxers can't do. Anthony Joshua in the first Usyk fight was never going to outbox Alexander Usyk. That's the reality. And the fact that he tried to do it with the blessing, with the preparation or lack of preparation from his corner, that speaks volumes. In one of the interviews I saw, Peter Fury said, why was Joshua asking, I think he meant Clifton Mitchell, about the fight literally seconds before he got into the ring? You remember when he was walking to the ring, this is the first fight, he was asking Clifton Mitchell, what do you think? He said, Fury said that's a recipe for disaster. I think he's right. I think he is right. You got to have someone to get rid of all that crap, to have a good clear out, take it back to basics, remind Joshua of why he went into boxing, remind him of what his skills are, his strengths are, hone those skills. Don't say, well, I've done that, I'll go over here and see if I can do that. There's nothing wrong with trying new things, with keeping an open mind, with trying to put extra tools in your box. But you mustn't forget to keep the things that you're already good at, the things that you're good at, that you're proven at, sharp and focused. I think Fury does that. Now, of course, some people are going to say, well, Peter Fury won't train AJ because he's Tyson's uncle. And I know that there's been problems between, various factions of the Fury family. I think that's a shame because, no one wants to see families having disagreements. Yeah, it's possible he would say no to Joshua. It's possible. But I think it's worth investigating. Because I think he's the man for the job. Other people have suggested, Adam Booth, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that would be a good fit. Booth is good looking after people up here, but he does tend to favour a certain style of athletic, a sort of reactionary type of talent, whereas Joshua, I think, plus the fact, of course, he's a heavyweight. Has Booth trained any heavyweights? I know he worked with David Price very briefly, but I just think Peter Fury, with his track record of heavyweights, it's worth investigating. He may say no, but I'd give it a go if I was in Joshua's team. So yeah, another Joshua video. Those are my points. Leave your comments below. Do you agree with me or not? What do you think about Peter Fury and Joshua together? Or perhaps you've got an idea for another trainer to take on the Joshua role. Maybe you think Robert Garcia's fine. You know, I don't think Joshua was awful in that second Usyk fight. Tactics, maybe not. Maybe he started a bit slow, but he was going to the body. He was doing some things. He fought much better. Well, he fought not about much, but he fought better than he did in the first fight. But of course, Usyk fought much better as well. And there's no shame in losing twice to Usyk. I think Joshua has more to offer, and I'd like to see him fulfill his potential, really. I'd like to see any fighter fulfill their potential. So what do you think? Leave your comments below. As always, thanks for your time. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Like the video. We will speak again soon. Bye for now.